Welcome to Horror Story. They call Route 50 through Nevada the loneliest road in America for a reason. For the last 3 hours, I hadn't seen a single pair of headlights. Just infinite asphalt stretched out under the high beams, cutting through the suffocating darkness of the high desert. I was running on autopilot, my eyes burning from exhaustion, trying to make it to Ely before sunrise. The radio was dead, just white noise and static drifting in and out. That should have been my first warning. Suddenly, the silence shattered. My GPS screen, which had been glowing with a steady blue line, flickered violently. The estimated arrival time jumped from 2 hours to 10 minutes. A synthetic, robotic voice cut through the static, louder than it should have been.
Traffic jam ahead. Rerouting.
Traffic. Here. It was 2 a.m. in the middle of a dead zone. It made no sense. The voice insisted.
Turn right in 500 feet.
I slowed down, squinting into the abyss. There it was, a narrow, unmarked service road cutting straight into the sagebrush. No signs, no lights, just gravel and dirt. My gut screamed at me to stay on the highway, but exhaustion makes you stupid. I convinced myself there must be an accident ahead, a pileup maybe. So I turned the wheel. As soon as my tires hit the dirt, the world changed. The smooth hum of the highway was replaced by the violent crunch of gravel. The darkness here felt thicker, heavier. My high beams barely penetrated 10 feet in front of the hood, swallowed by swirling dust. I checked the mirror. The highway was gone. I was completely alone. I drove for maybe 10 minutes, my knuckles white on the steering wheel. The road was getting worse, just 2 ruts in the sand now. Then the GPS chirped cheerfully.
Straight for 5 miles.
But there was no road left. My headlights hit a rusted wire fence blocking the path. A dead end. The sagebrush here was tall, almost reaching the windows. I slammed on the brakes. Dust billowing around the car like smoke. I killed the engine. Silence rushed back in, ringing in my ears. Okay, I whispered, trying to steady my breathing. Just turn around. I shifted into reverse and looked in the rearview mirror. That's when my heart stopped. I hadn't heard a thing. No gravel crunching, no engine rumble. But there it was, sitting right on my bumper, a massive dark shape. Suddenly, 2 blinding spotlights erupted from its roof, flooding my car with pure white light. I squinted, shielding my eyes. It was a truck, an old, lifted pickup. It was so close I couldn't see the license plate. It just sat there, engine off, lights on, watching me. "Hey!" I yelled, flashing my brake lights. Maybe they were lost too. Maybe they wanted help. The truck didn't move. I rolled down my window an inch to listen. Dead silence, just the desert wind whistling through the rusted fence in front of me. And then, the truck's lights turned off. Just as instantly as they came on, I was plunged back into darkness. But now I knew I wasn't alone. I sat there in the suffocating dark, my breath fogging up the glass. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely feel the steering wheel. I needed light. I needed to find my water bottle, my knife, anything. I reached up and clicked the dome light. The cabin was flooded with a sickly, dim yellow glow. I looked over at the passenger seat. My water bottle was gone. Instead, resting perfectly in the center of the seat, was a folded, dust-covered road map. I froze. I live alone. I travel alone. I have never seen this map in my life. I picked it up. The paper felt brittle, ancient, like dead skin. I unfolded it. It was a map of this exact county, dated 1989. A thick red marker had circled a spot in the middle of nowhere. I looked closer. The red ink was fresh. It smeared on my thumb. Someone had been in my car while I was driving. I dropped the map like it burned me. The dome light flickered once, twice, and died. Darkness rushed back in, but not for long. Click, the blinding white spotlights erupted again, but they weren't in my rear-view mirror anymore. I slowly lifted my head. The lights were in front of me, on the other side of the rusted fence. Floating in the air 10 feet off the ground, my GPS screen lit up one last time. The glitching map was gone, just a black screen with blinking red text.
You have arrived!
The lights outside roared to life. Not an engine, but a sound like tearing metal. They lurched forward, crashing through the barbed wire fence as if it wasn't there. They were coming for me. I didn't think. I didn't breathe. I slammed the gear stick into reverse and stomped on the gas pedal. The tires screamed, spinning uselessly in the loose sand for a second that felt like an eternity. Then they caught. The car shot backward, bucking violently over the sagebrush. I didn't look where I was going. I just stared forward, through the windshield, at the two blinding squares of light charging at me like a demon's eyes. The metal screeching was deafening now. The lights were so close I could feel the heat radiating through the glass. Crash. Something heavy clipped my front bumper, spinning the car around. I lost control. The world became a blur of dust, light, and noise. I squeezed my eyes shut and braced for impact. I must have blacked out for a second. When I opened my eyes, the car was stationary. The engine was idling smoothly. The screaming metal was gone. I looked out the window. I was back on Highway 50. The asphalt was smooth and gray. To my left, the sun was just beginning to crest over the mountains, painting the desert in soft purples and oranges. I checked the rearview mirror. No truck, no gravel road, just endless, empty highway behind me. I looked at the passenger seat. The map was gone. No dust, no red ink, just clean fabric. I wanted to scream. Had I imagined it all? The fatigue, the isolation. Maybe I just fell asleep at the wheel. I laughed nervously and reached for the gear stick to drive away. That's when I felt it, a sharp sting on my thumb. I looked down at my hand. There, smeared across the skin of my thumb, was a streak of fresh, bright red ink. I didn't arrive at my destination that morning. I turned around and drove until I hit a town with an airport. I sold the car the next day. I don't use GPS anymore. I stick to paper maps, but sometimes, late at night when I unfold a fresh map, I can still smell that burning metal. Here, what's your